These are bullseye billet pieces that I break into 3/4 by 3/4 by 1 1/4 inch cubes. The first question you have to be asking yourself is, why do I even bother pulling a rod from a billet? And the answer is that if you've used commercial rods from Bullseye or any other glass manufacturer for that matter, I'm sure that you've found that they are covered with exterior scratches, filled with bubbles, and scum on the interior. When you're encasing marbles with clear rod, you want the clearest, cleanest lens you can produce. That is why I pull my own rod. Why not use a crucible kill, you ask? Well, I have 2 crucible kills that I've used. At a cost of $7 a day in electricity for my very small Darby Dipper crucible, I have to be making a lot of marbles to make it economically feasible. And I've found that my billet method is a lot cheaper and more efficient. I use the end of a borosilicate rod to grab one of the cubes that has been heating in my annealing kiln. The torch that I use is a GTT Phantom. What I'm doing here is I'm pulling off the imperfections of the corners of the cube. Even billets do have a few imperfections that I like to remove before I pull the gather into a rod. I have shaped the gather into a hemisphere using an infinite rim graphite mold. And I'm going to attach a 1/4 inch steel rod. And from here I'll clean up the other side of the gather. The reason I use steel rods for my punty will become obvious, as you'll see when I remove the boro rod from the gather. Borosilicate is very hard, dense glass, but it still melts at a high temperature and is going to leave a nipple of glass that you're going to have to pull out, which I'm going to do in just a second. Now, if that boro rod had been attached to one of my marble, it certainly would have left a nice divot in the surface of the glass, which I would have had to repair on the marble. If you watch any of my marble making videos, you'll see that if you use steel rods as your punty to make your marbles with, you'll all but eliminate that problem. Continuing to heat the gather, I'm going to use a 1.5 inch infinite rim graphite mold. 1.5 inches in diameter at the top, and it tapers down in a straight line to the bottom. I've used this mold for 12 years, and if you watch my videos on tools, I'll give you further explanation as to what tools you might need as a beginner if you wish to produce marbles as a career or just for fun. I attach the second steel rod to the opposite side, and then I'll begin to heat the gather, which I want to be as evenly heated as possible in order to pull it out to get a uniform diameter from top to bottom. I can make it look pretty easy, but it is a dance that I've practiced for many years. This gather actually pulled out to a length of 30 inches and is 4.5 millimeters thick. Practice and persistence is the only thing that will make you successful in your hot glass endeavor. Continue watching if you want to see some of my marbles that I have produced in the last few months.